What's happening, friends? Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick, and on this channel I talk about cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and economics. Today's video is all about the new rJOE launchpad on rJOE on the Avalanche network. If you've used Avalanche before, you've probably used rJOE, but rJOE is their new launchpad, and I really like the way that they are allowing the community with any portfolio size to participate in launches. So today I'll go through exactly how rJOE works and what I like about it. Before I go any further, I want to emphasize that nothing I say is financial advice. You should still do your own research before using rJOE or participating in any of their launches. However, I do think it's a good chance for people who might not normally be able to get into launches to participate. Cool. So rJOE is the largest DEX on the Avalanche network. So if you've been on Avalanche, you've probably had to swap tokens on here. They also have a lending platform, and then they also have a staking feature. So you can stake your JOE and earn protocol fees. Just a few weeks ago, they also launched a launchpad. So in addition to staking your JOE for protocol fees, or rather instead of staking it for protocol fees, you can instead stake it over here on a rJOE and you earn rJOE. And so what is rJOE? rJOE is a non-transferable token, and you can burn it to participate in launches. So no matter what your portfolio size is, if you have JOE, you can stake it here, you'll start earning rJOE, and then that rJOE will basically purchase you a proportional size in the launchpad. So for every certain amount of rJOE you have, you'll be able to spend a certain amount of AVAX on the launches. And that's cool because, if you have a really small portfolio, maybe your rJOE only allows you to invest $10, but in many launch pads, you wouldn't be able to invest anything. So I think this is a really nice model, and it really solves some of the problems that launch pads have. If you've never tried to use one before, the problem is that some of them, or at least as far as I consider it a problem, it's great if you're a whale, but the problem that a lot of them have is you have to have like $5, $10, sometimes $20,000 of their tokens, sometimes even more, to guarantee a slot in the launches. And for most people, that's just unrealistic. So basically, it allows people who already have a ton in crypto to participate in launches and shuts out people with smaller portfolios. Another challenge is that sometimes they'll have it time-based. So once it sells out at a certain price, it's gone, which means that people who know how to use bots and know how to manipulate their gas prices or push through transactions in ways beyond using the normal MetaMask interface, those people can get in, and that those are great skills to have. And if you're into crypto, you might want to consider learning them. However, it does again shut out a lot of people who are just getting into the space. And the final reason is that let's be honest, or I'll be honest, a lot of launchpads don't allow people in the US to participate. So for people like me and many of the viewers who live in the United States, we are shut out of many of these opportunities to get into projects right when they launch. And so rJOE does not do any of those things. Anyone can participate. So I'm pretty excited to use it. And I did just test it out. I dipped my toes in it for one of their launches last week. And so that's basically in a nutshell how sort of your allocation works. And then you can see they had HON and then they have Fief. They launched last week, and these are sort of their inaugural projects. And the way that it works, basically, when you deposit your funds in here is, like I said before, you burn rJOE. So your rJOE gives you a certain amount of AVAX that you can deposit into the pool. And there's a 48-hour window. And when it launches, the price is set at a certain thing. In this case, 0.0013 AVAX. And as more people deposit AVAX, the price goes up. And this includes the price for people who had already deposited. So you're not necessarily locked into the price you deposit at. It's basically, as more people participate, you are saying, it's almost like you're purchasing the token before it launches. However, for the first 24 hours, you can withdraw your funds, so you can back out with no penalty. And then after that, there starts to be a penalty if you withdraw. So you really got to decide early on if you want to back out or not. And then eventually the window closes and the price is fixed. And that's basically how it works in a nutshell. and then you receive your tokens, and then 7 days later you'll be able to claim them. However, some projects like Fief in this case, it's a metaverse guild that's launching on Avalanche. I'm pretty excited for it, but they gave an additional incentive, so you actually got more tokens than you paid for, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so that's basically how it works. And if you want to participate, you just got to buy Joe and then stake it over here on rJOE. And you know, different tokens will do, you know, have different performances, but Fief, for example, launched over here, and it launched at almost twice what the final price ended up being, even after all those people had bought in. Quickly dropped down, still up more than 50%, and then has steadily dropped over the course of a week as people anticipate the tokens to be unlocked, but it's still slightly above where it was, and that's even with the market being very cool right now, and with the market really taking a large, you know, a lot of people would say crash over the past week. So even with that, it's still above the buy-in price, which hopefully is a sign of things to come, that other projects on rJOE will do well, and or rather rJOE will do well, and by participating in the initial launch, you can get in at a price that's reasonable. That's all I got today. Just wanted to share that. I think it's pretty cool. Launchpad on Avalanche. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.